Yes. Hello.
Hi
And
everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to Azure User Group Sweden. Hi Håkan.
hello. Hi, Jonah. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I hope you're doing great as well.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
really excited here about hearing from Goran about
Mm,
Azure Percept.
yes.
But
And I hope our audience that are watching us right now are having a great weekend. And thank you for being with us today. And before we introduce and bring our special guest today, I want to remind everyone or share to everyone about our code to conduct. So we wanted to everyone to be nice and friendly, listen with purpose, and be thoughtful, respectful to others. Seek to understand, not criticize. Be inclusive in your comments or questions in this community. And you can read more about the code of conduct on the link provided below. All right. So let's welcome Goran on stage.
yes.
Let's see. Hi.
Hello. Hello, Goran.
Hello, hello. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Nice
are
to have you.
we're very happy
Thank you.
to have you here. Is it safe to say that maybe you're one of the people with the longest experience with Azure Percept?
Well,
Or
could be
mm,
since was part of private preview programs. That was a lot of fun.
mm.
It came with big red letters like "Do not share pictures." Actually, it was
Yes.
before I went in spring that had opportunity to try it out.
Mhm.
After that, it
Yes.
got released. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. And can you introduce yourself, Guran? Instead of us doing that, you can feel free to do that.
Yeah, sure. So, name is Goran Vuksic. I'm originally from Croatia. Moved to Denmark some 7.5 years ago. Now 2.5 years in Sweden. I live and work here in Malmo. I work as a technical manager, and I'm Microsoft AI MVP, which means I'm included in community a lot, doing a lot of those sessions, workshops, events. I'm big tech enthusiast. I write blog posts, and that's me in short.
You're also a Microsoft technical trainer, I know.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
three of us.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's right. And just a quick fact for everyone: Göran is actually the second Swedish speaker that we have in Azure User Group Sweden. The first one was Rickard from Örebro, and now we have someone from Malmö. So it's a
Yeah,
good thing to know.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
So
Yeah.
what will our viewers see now in today's session, Goran?
Yeah, I will give overview of Azure Percept, and through this session I will show some personal projects that I made and some projects that we did at work to explore that like what are the possibilities and what could be the use cases of such device, and uh, yeah basically hopefully this inspires you to try out Azure Percept.
Yes, I look
Nice.
forward to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that
let's
the-
bring your presentation on stage. Do you have it ready?
Just a second. Now it should be ready.
yes. Yeah, then the stage is yours. And then for all our viewers, if you have any questions, just feel free to post them in the chat, and then we will have a Q&A session after the presentation.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Azure Percept in action. idea is to like I said, show you some real examples and explain you what this device is that was released as mentioned this spring. I gave my short introduction, so we'll skip the slide and we'll start talking about intelligence at the edge, AI at the edge, right? Like in many different kind of industries, we see more and more IoT being used, and we are seeing more and more these AI edge devices that are capable of processing different AI models and getting data points to the cloud. So usual example that I'm giving about this is imagine a car, right? And modern cars, especially those autonomous ones, have a lot of sensors. And if you want to get this data to the cloud, you need big bandwidth. And most of those cars now even have some kind of cameras, so you need video streams, you want quality video streams, and that requires even more bandwidth. And now imagine that you are some kind of delivery service and you want to know where your cars or trucks are and what's going on with them in the real time, right? So that requires a lot of data to be transferred. With development of networks, 5G and such, we can transfer more data. But the idea is that we are also able to process data on the spot at the edge, right? And get important data points out, make some AI recognition, computer vision, for example, like figuring out, okay, are there some pedestrians in front of cars, other cars, trucks, bicycles, not just in front, in back, on sides, and using different sensors to detect anomaly and such, and get only those data points to the cloud, not being dependent to need to upload everything and process it in the cloud. So we just get data points to the cloud and then use the data points forward. That's why AI on the edge. And this spring, Microsoft announced Azure Percept. It is not just the hardware that we'll see, it's the family of hardware, software, and services designed to accelerate this business transformation using IoT and AI on the edge. And what Microsoft says is start your proof of concept in minutes. And that is actually true. This device is super easy to plug and play, and really quickly you can publish some standard model, or you can create your custom model, publish it to device, and get some detections, predictions running, and see this data in the cloud. You can read more on the link. So what is this development kit? What it consists of? It consists of the career board and the Percept vision camera. So hopefully here on the video you can see the device. It's this board is inside of the case, which is also cooler around it, right? Has two antennas so it can connect to Wi-Fi. On the one side you can see there is a power button. There is USB-C, which you use to connect to the camera or to audio. You have a network, you have HDMI and two USBs. On the other side, there is here you connect the power. So basically you plug it in, you turn it on and go through small setup, and it's connected to your cloud. You are ready to go. You also have this camera, looks like this, and you can connect it to the device. There is also additional thing you can get for the development kit, and that is a microphone array. It's device that looks like this. And over here on the top, you can see there are 4 microphones. 1, 2, 3, 4 here, right? And on the bottom, you can connect it to your board, and you have here a button to mute, and you have line out in case you need it. But basically, you connect it to the board and you start using it immediately. Most often question that I get, okay, but how to get this device? Like, answer is simple: buy it and Microsoft Store. Should be available worldwide, but as far as I know, not in every country. So you need to check, is it available by visiting this link. And yeah, for some use cases, you can see, do you want to order just development kit with the camera, or you maybe need this microphone array additionally. I suggest that you try out the both, because it's really fun thing to do. And Azure Percept Studio, that you can find in Azure portal, that is imagined as a single launch point for creating edge AI models and solutions. And we will take a look at it, how it looks. So now I'm in the portal, and here if you search for services, you can find Azure Percept Studio, right? It has pretty simple interface over here. Starts with the overview, where it suggests you, like, okay, are you new to AI models? Do you want to create a prototype? Do you want to see some simple applications, or you would like to learn more about some advanced tools? If you follow the tabs, like there are some vision tutorials and demo, where you can create some models. There are some sample applications that you can try out for people counting or running vision on the edge. And there are advanced tools, like you can use it with Azure Machine Learning, notebooks, and check out things regarding security and so on. So interface is pretty simple. And over here you have devices. My device is not connected at the moment. As you can see, it's disconnected, but we can still open it up. And in this interface, that should load any second now, we see some general information, and we have options for vision and for speech. And for vision, we have 4 options here. All those options you will see in a few minutes through the slides. We have options to capture images from project. So when your device is connected, you open this option and you immediately take pictures from the camera. So if you are training it to recognize some model, you can put model in front of it, rotate it, and take pictures of it. You can view your device stream. So you can open the stream from the device in your browser. You will see the live camera stream. And when you publish the model, you can try it out. You deploy a model from the next option, or you can deploy some sample model. And from options that we have in Azure Percept Studio, more or less this is like what we use. So it's pretty simple, and let's see it in more details. We said we have some sample vision models, and those models that come out of the box are general object detections, like those standard objects, like, okay, this is a table, this is a chair, and so on. We have people detection. We have products on shelves and vehicle detection, identifying vehicle type. I think it only is cars, trucks, motorcycles, and such. I haven't actually tried this one. And we also have this voice assistant templates. And working with this device, you can imagine as any voice assistant, you probably use some in your home or on phone and such. So you're giving the voice commands, and those commands are recognized on device and translated into some actions, some commands. So we have examples for hospitality, healthcare, inventory, automotive. For example, in this inventory, this is a sample application you can try out. Like you see inventory with some blue, yellow, and green boxes, and you can give a voice command, okay, sell 5 blue boxes, and boxes will disappear, right? So translating your voice commands into some actions. And the main question, what can I build with it, right? So if you order this device, get device, yeah, great, you connect it. So what can you actually do with it? I would say that you can build a lot of things, and I will show you my personal examples. Some things that I did first for fun to learn how it works, and then some examples that we tried on the work in a more use case scenarios suited for business. Okay, how business could use this in industry and so on. So probably first thing I built was this small project, saving Tweety. There is a Lego minifigure edition with Looney Tunes, and I think it's really adorable. And I bought a few packages, got this Sylvester and Tweety, decided to recognize them with Percept, and wrote a blog post about it, so you can check in all details, but I'll walk you through the general setup now. The way it was done is that I created new custom vision project, just gave it a name. You can write also a description and define the resource group. And you say, okay, I would like to do object detection, right? And I will use the general domain. It's pretty simple to use custom vision. And when you create project, then in the flow, you need to add images to that project. Take a lot of pictures of your, in this case, minifigures that we are trying to recognize, and you need to tag those minifigures. Okay, open each picture and define, okay, this is a Tweety, this is a Sylvester. More pictures you add, more accurate it becomes, of course. After spending some time adding pictures, you train your model, and then you go into the Percept Studio that you've seen. And over there, you have option to deploy model to device. And it works super simple. One of those 4 buttons that I just showed you. When you click it, you have option, okay, I want to deploy project. You select your project from custom vision, in this case, saving Tweety. You select which iteration you want to publish and click publish button. Model goes to your device, and you can open the web stream. Web stream will open in a separate browser window and will show you detections, right? And this runs live. I don't recall now how many pictures I used, but you see that frame around Sylvester is not correctly defined, so adding more pictures would be more precise detection and higher accuracy, similar with Tweety. So pretty fun. You're detecting something custom that AI haven't seen yet, right? You trained it to see, to understand what the minifigures are. Next project that I built is Percept Mobile. The idea was, let's take the Lego Boost package and you can see it on the picture over here. Lego Boost comes with this 4 models that you can assemble out of the box, or you can go creative with it. So I used one of those models that is car, and I placed Percept on top and camera on top of it, and did obstacle avoidance, recognizing the small cones and going around those cones. And I published this on Hackster. It got featured. Also, this picture, they posted it on Instagram. I got in 3-4 days on it over 700 likes, which for me was like, wow, I never got on all of my picture that many likes in my lifetime. So was pretty fun. And after publishing this on Hackster, I also made a blog post on Tech Community Microsoft, where I described it in details, with a walkthrough video, how to build one for yourself. And the second picture over here came to me a few weeks afterwards, that someone in Perth is actually building this for some conference there to showcase how the Percept works. And I was really happy that someone picked it up and found this idea interesting and tried it out. This is original blog post on Hackster. I explained here the story, like the way it's built. I took this base, trained the model to recognize these small cones. These small cones comes with Lego Boost package. And in the Percept Studio, I deployed this model to device. And I explain here how to get your settings for the IoT hub, because data that Azure Percept is generating goes to IoT hub. And over here you can also see example of telemetry that is received. So some detection happens, and we get info where this detection is in the picture, in the current frame. What is found, like this label cone is found with some confidence, in this case 51%, and we got timestamp. I made a small node backend for it. No need basically to go through it. The thing is, this node backend is listening to telemetry on IoT Hub, and on the front end application I use to control the Lego Boost. And here, sorry for commercials, just to skip that. Here you can see how it works, right? It moves forward until cone is detected, and then rotates in a spot until it finds that cone is not visible again, and moves forward until it hits next cone. Another video where it goes forward, turns around, and such. You can see cable here, power cable. Azure Percept is powered with 40 volts. That's a bit, that's a lot. Actually, not easy to assemble some battery, but you can do it, of course. It just takes some effort. And over here in this example, you can see I'm putting the cone in front, and the lights turn on like green if cone is not there. I place the cone, now it becomes red. Green again, red, like doing these detections and controlling the Lego Boost. Regarding the battery, I also wanted to say, you can assemble it. I've seen someone put the Percept on the drone. So yeah, they managed to do it. Obstacle avoidance, as I explained in your custom vision, just training, tagging. I had a lot of pictures of those cones to be recognized correctly, and it worked nicely. Really fun project to try out. Some of other things I tried, playing air guitar. Air guitar is concept of playing guitar without real guitar. It's a popular concept, and every year in Finland there is a world championship in playing air guitar. I have to go see it one year. And thing with this is that I train it to recognize the chords, major chords like G and C, and then played just a second. And then I trained it to recognize like holding a pick with my fingers, and then when I move this pick downwards, I hit the strings and I play the sound. So you can see it now in a video how it looked like. This is happening live from the Percept, and video will be shown here in a second. Here is device stream. So recognize the chord. I have a pick. And when I move the pick, I calculate, so it's moved down, then I play the sound, right? It's pretty interesting, and it's easy to make it work. But for this thing to recognize the chords, actually took over 200 pictures between holding G and C to start figuring out correct chords, plus additionally for the pick. So main time spent in this kind of project is to get your pictures in custom vision, to tag them, to prepare the model, try it out, then you add more pictures and more and more. And once it starts working, it's really nice and fun. And in the whole process of doing something custom, this custom vision, most of time goes into this tagging and preparing pictures, because Percept itself is really plug and play, super simple to connect it, and easy to use with Azure, and nicely fits in the whole ecosystem. You can do nice things. Doing some things at work, moving away from my private projects. I did some project like detecting room occupancy. Okay, how many people are in the room at the moment? And this is done with the standard model detection. And then with some custom detection, we made a project where we detected screws. Those robot hands you can see here on the screen. Detecting bolts. Move the bolts on top of the screws over here. And Percept is used as camera from the top. Here is some live dashboard that you can see on the other screen. Percept detection is happening in this live feed over here. This bolt is sitting correctly on the top of the screw, so those are like detections. And this one, you can see it's misplaced bolt, right? Ignore at the moment the other values that is coming from the Raspberry Pi hat, coming to the developed dashboard. So this part is Azure Percept, detecting visually, okay, is this sitting in the right position? This can be used in the industry. Detecting like on an assembly line, is something correctly. You can even detect if something falls off the assembly line, and so on. I can also show you here how it looked like. So this is a colleague of mine. We put this together that robot hands pick those bolts, place them at the correct spots over here, and after that detection happens. Just to find you can see it detecting live video over here, right? And those bolts are correctly placed, and this one is misplaced. And you can use this data and then transfer it somewhere in Power BI, create some dashboards over there and such. You will see the example soon. Regarding that room occupancy, how you can build end-to-end solution is that you take this data from Azure Percept. Here at the picture is only the camera. There needs to be the board also, right? But the idea is this vision from camera, your model gets processed, get data to IoT Hub, and from IoT Hub, you can use Stream Analytics to stream this data into the Power BI. It's pretty simple to set it up, and I'll show you how it's done. I have also a blog post about it on Tech Community Microsoft, how it works in details. So to achieve this room occupancy, you can use the standard model that comes out of the box on Percept, people detection. I show you these models earlier. This is something you can set up like really in half an hour probably to get it working. You use the standard models, you publish it on the device, and you get data in IoT Hub. So now we want to define a new Stream Analytics job. You give it a name, define the resource group location, create this job, and then you need to define, okay, where data is going from to where it's going from, like from input to output. Our input is IoT Hub, where data comes in from the Percept. You define the name, subscription, define which IoT Hub it is, this access policy name and key, create the input, and then you create the output to Power BI. Pretty simple, like defining where it goes. You need to authorize connection. And for this job, okay, you have your input, you have your output, you need to define what's happening in between. So you write one query like this, where you say, select the values into our stream output from the input, where some condition. This condition is basically neural network is not null, so there are no empty detections, like because if there's nothing in a frame, you'll get just empty array. And over here, when you transfer it into the Power BI, you are selecting array length, like person count, how many detections are there in this current frame, and you are sending the time toward the Power BI. In Power BI, you can create a new report. And in that report, you use this data. You can see it here on the right side. That is Power BI Percept table with we are using some person count and the time, and data will look something like this, right? It will be here is one detection, here is two detections, which means in this moment there are two people in the room, and you can play around with it and make this Power BI look nice and end up probably somewhere over here, where we those are four meeting rooms. As I said, we had two devices, so data is actually made first for 2 rooms, then for 2 rooms. But just to showcase the idea of this, how we could do the occupancy, then you can group it in some time frames, and now you can see, okay, for the room 1, It was occupied in those periods. It was at this point there was 3 people in the meeting room. Here was 1, here was 2. See it for the other rooms, make some summary, figure out how it looks overall, and based on that you can connect some other systems like heating in the office, for example, or to adjust. Okay, if you find the patterns in your data, like no one is using the meeting room before 12 at Monday, right, or Friday after 2, then you can turn off the heating if it's winter, or cooling like over the summer. It's pretty simple. I'll also show you the quick video how it looked like. Over here you can see meeting room, and there is Percept put on the top of TVs over here, right? And now Percept is running this model people detection, and live from Percept, just a second, that's me explaining. Live from Percept, you can see detection over here. That's what's happening, like with the model. I'm the person that is entering like room here, sitting, right? And now in Power BI we get that one detection at that time. Grouping it up and playing around with data, you can end up somewhere like here. One thing that I'm doing in my free time over the weekends and evenings, just for fun, as I mentioned, longest thing you do in the development of those things, if you want to do the custom model, you spend time making this preparing pictures and preparing this model, and then publishing it and getting it run is really quick. So I got this idea about small free web service where you could upload your 3D model and just download the picture, generate the pictures out of your 3D model, because it's really common in many industries that you already have a 3D model of different device or object or something that you are producing. So you could take this model, upload, and generate a lot of pictures. This idea is also supported through Microsoft for Startups, so thanks to them. I expect it to go live in hopefully month or 2. Depends a lot on my free time. But if you want to check it out, please check it out on the LinkedIn and follow it for the updates. The way it works is like over here you can see I have one small Lego minifigure of R2D2, and on the picture here you can see the 3D model of that minifigure, and with that I can use it to generate different lightnings, different pictures from different angles, different sizes, different backgrounds, and things like that. And I can just, idea is that you upload your model like this. Okay, I have model of my product, not my product, but my toy. Upload it to the tool and download a lot of pictures that I can put in custom vision and train my model. So hopefully it speeds up some development. For me, it's really fun thing to develop. That was all from me. Like my Twitter, LinkedIn is always open for communication. If you are building some interesting projects and want to share it, please let me know. I hope this inspired you to try out the Azure Percept. And if you have any kind of questions or get stuck somewhere or want to know something more, feel free to reach out. Back to studio.
Yes. Thank you, Goran, for a good, great presentation. A lot of great examples. Yeah, interesting. We have a lot of questions from the audience and also me and Håkan. Actually, lots of questions.
I think we just start here with Gabriel. He says here, how does Azure Percept handle data privacy and security?
So yes, device is fully secure. Like you can check on device page, like everything that Microsoft Azure does, like it is fully secure. And regarding the privacy and some things like GDPR and such, the thing is with AI on the edge that you have that model running on the edge, and it does recognition. It can recognize there's 5 people in the room, but it's not taking this video and uploading somewhere, taking the pictures of these people. It is processing it at the spot and only saying, okay, I can see 5 people there, and that's it. So yeah, it's really great way to solve some GDPR concerns and such, because you are not uploading this video to the cloud, pictures to the cloud and such. You process it at the spot.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then I had a question here also for this air guitar example here. Is there any way that you can speed up this process? Because you were saying that you needed to take like 200 pictures of this C and G chord things.
Yeah, it was much more actually, because when I had 200 pictures of each, which is 400 plus probably 100 pictures of the holding the pic, right? Then it started figuring out something. So it took me a few more days, sitting and taking pictures and tagging every picture and such. So unfortunately, like the way I see it, this is really custom, something that you cannot find on the cannot find easily some data set somewhere that you could pull and do the tagging quickly. There are some if you search a bit, like if you open Kaggle, for example, that there you can find a lot of those data sets if you want to recognize I don't know, different types of dogs. Like you can find the data sets there and use that, for example. But for this, unfortunately, I had to do everything manually, and yeah, it took time.
Yes, I can take the next one. Yeah, I had a question since I'm a developer as well. I'm interested to know what are the programming languages that are supported by Azure Percept.
So the idea is that you have no code environment.
Okay,
Like,
it's me that's like so like it's maybe a not so relevant question, but it's interesting because I think always as a code. Good.
Whole flow is plug this device, connect to the cloud, prepare your model there, publish this model, and see what's happening. And after that, like from where you want to use this data from IoT Hub, like in my example, I used it in the Node.js for to read it from IoT Hub, then to drive this Lego car. Or in other example, I used it from the Stream Analytics, where I took. So yeah, you can combine it. And also, like I said, more advanced things like data scientists can use the Azure Machine Learning and develop things there, and then publish some models on the.
Yes. Sounds interesting. Thank you. I think, for example, with Azure Functions, the serverless, you can read data or events from an IoT hub or event hub. So it's a good way to integrate it. Right.
So that goes a little bit into my question here, which is about how much code do you have to write for Azure Percept? Because you mentioned now that maybe you could actually, if can you use Azure Machine Learning to develop a model there, and can you somehow upload it to the Azure Percept?
Yeah, if you go to Percept Studio, like I showed it quickly, there is explanation how to do this more advanced things. But still, main idea is that it is plug and play device where you can start using AI on the edge quickly and easily and try it out how it works. Yeah.
Then we have a question from Gabriel. He says, in which cases would you use Azure Percept, and in which cases would you consider other solutions like Azure Sphere?
Azure Percept would use for this detection at the edge, and I gave some examples here, like detecting in industry, like okay, production line, is something assembled correctly, did something fell off the production line, or or some kind of anomalies, like you've seen those bolts placed and misplaced, and also this room occupancy was actually and I think still is a hot topic from because of this COVID known reasons, like okay, how many people are there, how right, so trying to so yeah, I think that those are the the cases that like I mean if you take just that slide, like I mostly focused on the vision, right? But also for the Azure Percept, there is a audio kit that you can use. It uses Lewis and can recognize those commands, and there are commands like okay, uh, those examples I mentioned, the one in warehouse where you can order something and things like that, and there is also examples like in hospital where someone could be in a bed and then giving commands like open the shades on window, or giving some other command in those automated environments. So that's I think that covers it. Like the rest is imagination. Like yeah, just try your own examples. And I was also like, yeah, let's do something crazy. Let's play air guitar. Can I build that and things like that? Yeah. So,
Okay. Then I had a question here, which is for people detection, or this room occupancy example here that you had. Is that a pre-built model, so you don't have to do any custom training?
yes, there are pre-built models like people detection, standard object detection, detecting products on shelves, and detecting cars and different types of vehicles. So I believe over time they'll add more and more those out of the box models, but those are what's available now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I also had a question. What challenges did you experience while developing with Azure Percept, and how did you solve or handle them? Like
I
any that you remember.
yeah, I think that it's pretty simple. Like as Microsoft promised on the webpage, from the getting development kit to getting your model running like in 30 minutes, you can do it even faster. It's a really nice device that sits nicely with Azure ecosystem and connects there and such. So only challenge maybe yeah, regarding model development, okay, finding the right pictures and data and such, but otherwise, like yeah, whole experience was really smooth.
Yes, thank you. I have a follow-up question before we switch to the next one. Can you use Azure Percept for, like, for example, teaching it to learn sign language? Because I have a sister that's deaf, and she can only talk sign language. So I'm curious if I buy an Azure Percept, is that something I can maybe develop for sign language?
It was also one of the community projects done, and
Okay.
it's you can check the IoT blog on Microsoft's tech community, and there
Mm?
is the example and walkthrough how to build something like that.
All
And
right.
I know it worked. I read it some 3 months ago, approximately. I know it worked pretty nicely, and the person who built it, first you train it with different signs, and then he was also improving his knowledge
Hmm?
of the sign language,
Yes.
which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm interested to start as the first project if I'm gonna buy it. Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you.
So
Next question, we
you
can
can check
take.
it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Then we have a question from Gabriel. It says, what is the pricing model associated with Azure Percept?
Well, that is the thing. Like, you are not spinning your model in the cloud, right? You spin it on device, and the only thing you're paying is that little electricity it used. So, yeah, compared to running model in the cloud, where you need to use some services and then you pay the pricing there. Of course, if you're not using this standard model, you want to do some custom model, then you need to train that model, and there is some small pricing for the custom vision, right?
Okay. And Jona, do you want to take the next one?
Yes, this is the last question from our audience, Gabriel. Is it easy to move Azure Percept custom vision proof of concept to production?
Uh, yes, I would say it would be super easy. I think there is a note on. I haven't done any production Percept projects. I think there is a note on the Percept page that it shouldn't yet be used in production, if I remember correctly. But you could check the documentation over there. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have a lot of questions from Gabriel. Let's show it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says,
Interesting.
Gabriel says, could you tell us more about your lessons learned as one of the first in the world to try Microsoft Azure Percept in the private preview?
Yeah, it was fun. The thing is, I this is not first AI on the edge device that I used. Like, I did several projects with Jetson Nano from NVIDIA. Earlier, I got featured by them, and also being part of that their Jetson Nano program and such. And in the company last year, we did one project using it and doing this IoT and AI on the edge, and that got noticed by Microsoft. That's why we got invited to try out this device, like, okay, what we could do with it, right? So yeah, it was, of course, an honor to be invited and to try it out. So that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, there were
Yes.
lots of questions. It's a really interesting session, I think, this.
Yes, interesting questions. Now I'm looking on the other screen, looking where I can buy the Azure Percept. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's great. You inspired us going on to
Thank
develop
you.
with Azure Percept. Thank you
Mm.
for so much for your session. Do you have any other links or great sites to share with our audience?
Well, I think yeah, shared it like standard one, aka.ms/IoT blog. You can find all the IoT content from Microsoft over there. Follow it and check it out. Yeah, and I see more and more people trying this out and posting blog posts and doing nice and interesting stuff. So it's really worth to check it out and yeah, to try it out.
Yes,
Mhm.
thank you. Yes, thank you so much. We have 5 minutes more, so maybe we can do a few more the next upcoming session. Maybe
Yes.
you.
So
Yes.
yes, Goran, please stay on StreamYard here,
Mm,
so we can talk a little bit after the session here.
yes.
Yeah, so we have some announcement here about the next
Yes.
session.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Yes. So this is our next session. This is on the 20th of November, where we will have two guest speakers do it with Carol De Winter and Wim Mathisen. And they gonna share about the insider's guide to Azure Art. And also, I want to invite everyone, if you're in Sweden, for example, or you can watch online. I will be part of an event in Sweden called Geekdagen, organized by Microsoft MVP. So that will be on November 18th, the whole day. And it will be live streamed through the Microsoft Stockholm Reactor site. Yes. So, anything else, Håkan? Let me add you as you hide there. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. No, then I think you can just follow us here both on LinkedIn and on Twitter, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can keep updated, and also on Meetup so that you get notified when our next session is.
Yes, and if you're someone or a speaker that wants to share knowledge, feel free to submit your session. If you're a beginner, we can help you. Håkan and I can help you as well. All right, and thank you so much, everyone, and have a great weekend from me and Håkan.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.